What was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah. Uh-oh.
Ready? Heads up, everybody. I'm Carol.
I'm Gary.
And we're the
Retired
Renovators. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is our very first episode, and we're glad that you found us. And this is a YouTube channel about the renovations that we're making to our 1908 historic home in Paducah, Kentucky. And we thought to start with this whole show that we would introduce ourselves by answering questions that we have people asking us all the time about these renovations. And so I made up questions several days ago, and one of the advantages of being old and retired is that we have now forgotten all the questions. And I put them in two piles. I don't know who has which questions, and we're just going to pick them up and answer them and see how this goes. So, does that sound good to you?
Sounds good.
Okay, you want to go first?
Okay. How long do you think the whole project will take?
So we get that question all the time. We have the big brick house and the carriage house. And I usually tell people when they ask me that question, hope we finish it before we keel over. But in reality, we have started the renovations on the carriage house and hoping to have those done by summertime. And 2 to 3 years on the big house, would you say?
Something like that. It would be a good start anyway.
Yeah. So it takes a long time. So in a while, so we're hoping that you can follow us along for quite a while. All right. Next question. Is it true that you're doing all the work yourselves?
This is mostly true. We like working with our own hands and doing ourselves and designing and building ourselves. There's just been a couple of things that we have hired out and will hire out, one of which is the back corner of the corner house was sinking, and we had some professionals come in to jack up the corner, make it steady and permanent foundation. And the other is that we'll hire out the insulation, because we're going to use open cell foam for that. And for that, it really needs to be a professional doing the installation. And so those are the two big things.
Yes, other than that, yeah, trying to do ourselves. And so that's another reason why it is taking so long. And just thinking about this the other day, just the plans for the house took us about a year, right?
Oh, at least, yeah.
To figure out how to do that. A year, trips to Italy, and several liters of Italian wine to get the right plan. All right.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay. When was your first kiss?
That's
the wrong side.
I was in college, by the way.
Do you know how to do plumbing and electrical?
Yes and no. So for me, the unequivocal answer was no at all before we started. I have certainly learned a lot. Gary was way more the expert in that field than me. But this project, doing all the electrical and plumbing, has been the biggest thing done. We've learned a lot.
It's been very educational.
Yes, we did flunk the plumbing inspection twice, which was a disappointment for those of us who are competitive and care about grades. But we eventually passed and learned a whole lot. And the inspectors have been fantastic.
They have. A lot of people are afraid to use inspectors, or they don't sign out. They don't want the hassle, but they really are an excellent resource for very little money overall to get the inspections done, and they give good advice. So we've learned a lot.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see how encouraging they are. They don't freak out when they realize that we're doing all the electrical and plumbing ourselves. They seem to think it's within our wheelhouse to be able to do it. So yeah, so we're doing it right now.
And we did pass plumbing on the third time.
We
so-
did. I mean, perfectly passed. And so that's good. We passed framing first time.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What has been the best part of the project so far?
Well, we've had some good surprises in that we found that some of the hard, nasty work was already done for us as far as ripping out and gutting the houses. And so that's been a really good thing, that there was a lot done that could have been very tedious and expensive. So that's probably been one of the best parts. The other is it's just plain fun to do our own design and rework it and make things better in many different ways. So it's worked out well.
And then you forgot to say the part about spending
So much time with
me.
my wife, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Your question.
Why is it taking so long?
Oh, yes. For all of these reasons. We're old, right? So we're newly retired. So part on the front end, we were both still working full-time when we bought the house 2 years ago. And so we only had a little bit of time here and there when we could come up, or Gary could come up and work on it. But now we're both retired, newly retired, and are working on this full-time. So we think that will speed things up.
Yes.
But we're slow. It's just the two of us. We don't have an HGTV
Crew.
coming behind the scenes, or you get those 8 burly guys who come in and do all the stuff. So it's us, and that's not easy. So,
Yeah, it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's good. It's good. All right, and the last question for you today is it true that you bought the house without seeing it first? That's probably the question we get most often.
No, we saw it. We saw the outside of it. We did not see the inside of it. So we were driving by and just looking at different houses, and we came across this one and saw that it was for sale. There was a sign outside that said, "For sale by owner." No phone number, no name, no contact information, just for sale. But we looked at it and we immediately loved it. It's a big, stately, 2-story brick house with a nice carriage house behind, and then a triple garage, and it spoke to us.
It did speak to us so much so. So Gary likes to tell the story of, we stopped the car when we saw the house and went, "Oh, that's a really pretty looking house." And I said, "I'm going to go look at it." And I ran up the stairs in the front stairs and looked in the window, and I turned back to Gary and
she said, "It's gutted!"
Which
is so exciting.
Yes, for a lot of people that would be an immediate turnoff, but our dream has been for many years to find a house that was basically intact on the outside that we could tackle on the inside in this house. We didn't see an empty house. We saw a potential of a house that we could create, so it was really exciting. But we were relieved after we purchased the house and Gary walked into it for the very first time that the whole thing was not falling apart.
Yes. And no rodents had taken out
Yes.
residents
Yeah.
or anything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good find. And so that brings you up to date on where we are with the Big Brick House, the Carriage House in Paducah, Kentucky. And what we're doing is retired renovators. And so our next episode, I'm planning to do a walkthrough both houses so you can see what it looks like and what we're doing. So I hope you come back for episode 2. And so you got any last words of wisdom?
I do not.
You don't? So we like to say, give it a try.
Give it a try. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. So thanks for joining us, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.